All right. My name is Vincent Johnson, and Spike Rebel came by my house today and decided he wanted to do a little something, put a little something out there, okay, and I agreed to it. The piece I'm going to do is called Today's Plantation, okay? For some, the word plantation brings to mind a period of slavery we thought we left behind. But that's not really the case. It has simply changed its face. Its new look may lack the physical restraints, but no less controlling in the picture it paints. Instead of horseback riders, the rope and the whip, we have taxes and wages and 666. They are the controls, like the plantations of old, that unseen master we never see, and why we remain more slave than free. But here, the plot thickens like full-grown chickens. Since the days of cotton pickers, racism has gotten slicker, presenting many faces, but no less the same, especially in workplaces and its high-tech game, where sexual favors are high on the list, where physical labor have a personal twist. This, too, is like plantations of old, those millions of stories that never got told. And what about that 40 acres and a mule? God knows we are way overdue. Hope this meaning is not lost in rhyme the way it's been buried in time. For our past is an open door, and it's up to us to settle the score, rather than becoming another issue that's treated like toilet tissue, or like so many subjects we drop before it even reaches the top. Yeah, we eat better, dress better, and have more cash. But when you take a closer look, you can see the hidden lash, regimented, regulated, supposedly educated, a new breed of Negroes filling the slots. But we all know who's calling the shots, that Mr. Charlie is still the man, overseeing that master plan, a clever endeavor, still working his con, smoother than ever, like a magical wand. If you don't think so, just look at how we act. Designer this, designer that, chasing the wind, a clothing trend. It's not just bills and rent that keep us in the woods, but how our money is spent on services and goods, the careless manner in which we spend like we are rich, painting ourselves with expensive fronts, imaginary needs, imaginary wants, anything to seem more than what we really are, to glitter and shine and glow like a star. A chief reason is more fact than fiction, that perhaps we have a mental condition, victims of our own confusions, illusions, and hasty conclusions. Yeah, the system is shrewd, as we are vulgar and rude, but unlike the old system of force, today's slaves are slaves by choice, easily bought, programmed to a fault, divided in many areas by our own psychological barriers. However, the reality is we are like copycats in showbiz, permanent fixtures found in motion pictures with lifelike appeal, fantasies made to look real, not intended as a lifestyle. But let's check out our profile. Many of us are the same important persons just in name. Imitation wall plaster, servants masquerading as master, living large but not in charge, a material mirage. Puppets with no powers, intellects and scholars, paychecks and salaries bigger than most, appointed or chosen to star as a host. Well read and nicely said, but still just a figurehead, shackled by meaningless titles and well-to-do lectures, symbols and idols and self-serving gestures. The true hypocritical type, phonier than political hype. They do us the most harm with their artificial charm and false sense of alarm. Traitors on every level, workhorses for the devil. Like the plantations of old, they are under control. Sambo representatives in high offices and low, self-important, selling out and putting on a show. Welcome to the new Jim Crow. As a people, progress must include us all if we are to bear its fruit. We cannot hear the freedom call running from the truth. We cannot hear the freedom call running from the truth. Okay? That's an older version of my point of view at the time, but I think many of the things in this piece still are relevant to this day. I even go as far to say that looking at the way things are today, I feel like we are more in a state of slavery than those of us of 100 or 200 years ago. Because a lot of us now have somehow taken the place of the original captives, or not captives, but invaders, the ones that captured us and put us in this condition. And what's really bothersome is that it's not enough of us taking the kind of interest we ought to take as far as trying to straighten some of these things out. Too many of us seem to be more into ourselves than we are as a people. Like I say to people oftentimes, it's not about me, it's about us. If only more of us thought that way, we could change this thing around almost overnight. We could do that. But you got too many of us who have certainly taken on the attitude that we don't need anybody. As long as I got mine, that's all that matters, and so forth. All right?
So thank you all for watching.
Yeah.
Vince Johnson is an honor. He's the poet therapist.
Yeah.
I've been blessed to be able to paint spontaneously while he says something that is healing and a message, informational. And basically, I started with the concept of a whip to make the underline. You probably don't see it, but that's a hand holding a whip. And then the city today does have a lot of things that deal with slavery on a different level.
Right.
It's a different kind of plantation. It's definitely not the home grounds of Africa with the land. Everything is concrete and straight up and down.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure that's how we originally came from, everything being metal and steel and concrete. But within this, you can see every day on the TV or the news, there's a lot that's wrong.
That's not right. There's too many of us targeting each other instead of banding together and trying to create a united front to stand up against the real problems, the real perpetrators and so forth. We are now taking all our hostilities out on each other. How sad, okay? So we have actually become the agents of our own genocide, so to speak, at least when you look at it from the perspective that I'm looking at it from. Okay, they don't even have to wonder about us no more. You know, there was a time when we would hear about the Ku Klux Klan. We're doing such a good job on ourselves, they don't need the Ku Klux Klan no more. Okay, not really. All right, we making all the detrimental moves and terrorizing each other. You got seniors who are afraid to sit out on their porches like they used to do when I was coming up. You got kids afraid to play in the playgrounds, walk down the street like we used to do when I came up. We need to get together. And those who are in those different groups, the ones, especially the ones that call themselves leaders, okay? I'm not advocating anything, but if you're going to be a leader, you're going to have to take control and let it be known you can't go around shooting up our people, okay, like there's some kind of turkey shoot going on. You know, you're going to have to ice that. You know, take a stronger position. And like I say, I'm not advocating it, but if you're going to take that kind of role, you know, stand up and be strong, okay, and control those who you are holding power over, or authority, or whatever you call it now. All right?
God bless. We'll take you out. The plantation, the modern day plantation.
Modern day plantation.
Peace.
Peace.